afternoon, everyone. Today I'm going to present topic disaster preparedness and mitigation in a case study. I'm Avnish Katiyar and my moderator is Dr. Madhur Niyal sir. So first, I want to tell you we will cover the disaster management, the definition of disaster management, types of disaster management cycle, hotspots in the India for natural disaster, description comparison of the disaster preparedness from the other countries, and a case study over Kedarnath flash flood in 2013, and what are the legislations for the disaster management in India. So first we'll start with the disaster. What is a disaster? Disaster is defined as major disastrous event that causes widespread disruption to a community or region which affect the community is unable to deal with the adequately required help from outside. The disruption may be ecological, geographical, human deaths or human services, health services or human life. So what are the types of disasters? Disaster may be natural or the unnatural, that is a man-made disaster. Natural disaster may be landslides, avalanche, flood, earthquake, drought, tsunami or tornadoes. And the man-made disaster, they are terrorist attack, civil wars, chemical hazards, religious war or nuclear disaster, or maybe other type of disaster. So I will not going to discuss about details of these disasters, what are the causes of disasters and how to manage disasters. We will cover the whole, any kind of disaster can be managed as a whole. So in this framework, I would like to discuss about the conceptual framework of disaster management that can be considered in management of both natural as well as man-made disaster. This is disaster management cycle. That disaster management cycle start immediately from the response. Response, that means immediately what we do. This disaster occurs, it may be natural or man-made, and that is start from response that includes search and rescue process or humanitarian aids. Then it goes to recovery of the disaster assessment, rehabilitation, reconstruction. Then mitigation. Now that once the recovery occurs, then again for the sake of to control this preparation, means your first disaster process, when what disaster occurred, this effect of the disaster is now over. Now we'll start for the next cycle, that is start from mitigation and preparedness. Mitigation means that they reduce the effect of the disaster, and preparedness is what are the resources we have, what are the pre-planned protocols that we can sponsor for this disaster, that we'll discuss in the next slides. These are the hot spot for the India for different types of natural disaster. The left side of the slide is showing the India seismic zones. This was the zonation was done in 1935. It's too old with the most red one is showing the highest, and the next is what are the other disasters that includes drought, hot deserts, cold deserts, flood prone area. It is shown in the right side of the slide. Means this yellow area, the area is showing the drought prone area, and purple one in the Rajasthan, that is hot desert area. Cold area especially in the Jammu and Kashmir and Himachal Pradesh, and few area in the northeast part. And flood prone area is around India's most famous rivers, around like there Ganga and Yamunotri, and they are passing through start from the Himachal Pradesh to Uttarakhand, from the Punjab, then going through Delhi to Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Jharkhand, and few part in the Gujarat, Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh and Kerala. They are most flood prone area in India. Now move on the response. First part of the response is once the disaster occurred, this first part is response. So it was most famous dialogue that when disaster strikes, time to prepare has passed. Whatever is preparation you have is passed, now response occurs, and the most commonly is is SAR, Rescue and Search and Rescue. Search and Rescue, in India we have NDRF team that is famous for search and rescue, and second is humanitarian aid. Humanitarian aids that includes providing food, shelter, medical help, evacuation from for the victims, and recovery of dead bodies, and providing through them to the victims the medical help, either by the camp or transferring them directly to the medical hospital. And in our India, the humanitarian aids, they are less common. In initial phase, they're providing shelters and food, they are common, but after the follow-ups, they are very poor, especially in India after disaster. In such a search and rescue process, this is immediate response that is usually done by the army and NDRF team. If you talk about the response in Japan, they have this is Japan. They are famous for the earthquake, tragedies, and disaster. So the Japanese, they developed their own medical disaster response team, that is National Disaster Medical System. This is governed by their medical doctors, and they are having their own disaster response team, that is Emergency Medical Information System. They have two parts, DMAT and AE. DMAT is Disaster Medical Assistance Team. They immediately go the site of disaster, and maybe in the plain, it may be in the hilly areas, and this for the aeromedical evacuation, this is a separate part. And all disaster hospitals, they are pre-appointed for this. So disaster base hospitals, they already prepared, and they are there. And so most of the, as like in India, they are only focused on search and rescue process. They do not focus on the patient victims, what happens to them. They are transferred to the hospital, they are trying to keep in the medical camps. They are not transferring, or they are transferring, they do not follow in how much the mortality rate is, and what are going to happen in next time. And now Israel is known for the world leader for disaster management, especially for man-made disasters, because in Israel the terrorist attack, missiles attacks, they are very common because of nearby countries. So they prepared themselves as a disaster risk assessment hospital. The system is known as Israel Emergency Medical System. So they are not governed directly with the authorities. They can directly involve in the patient management. And the one famous organization, national organization in the Israel, is Magen David Adom organization. This especially is a non-government organization in the Israel, and they all are victim centric. They are not they have different teams in the with the government for the evacuation and rescue team. For the victims, they have their own system. In USA, like in India, we have NDRF. In USA, this is known as FEMA, Federation of Emergency Medical Agencies. They have their own hospital-based assessment, like Maryland, especially for this Maryland hospital. They have their own emergency team, that is known as Maryland Institute of Emergency Medical Services, System Services. They are also the patient centric. They are not dependent on authorities or after giving information, after taking information, they directly activate their own system and involve in the patient care and evacuation and the hospitalization. Unlike in India, we have national disaster management authorities, agencies, and they are totally based on the bureaucrats, and they means NDRF team depends on the commands of the bureaucrats from the NDMA, that is National Disaster Management Agency. There is no hospital-based management victim and trauma victims and for the rehabilitation process. And most of the disaster, the medical teams, they hired by the authorities. So most of the treatment in case of disaster, they are usually given by the medical camps, not hospital-based policies. None of the institute in India have their own autonomous disaster management policies for automatic activation and for rehabilitation and rescuing victims from India. In India, there are different ministries. They are responsible for the communication. They are taken from the National Disaster Management Agencies. Air accidents, they are carried out by the Civil Aviation Ministry. Civil strike, the Home Ministry. Dot by Agriculture. Chemical disaster by Environment, Forest. Railway accident by Railway. Biochemical disaster by Ministry of Health. Nuclear disaster by Department of Atomic Energy. And other disasters, they are usually governed by the Ministry of Home. If you call about communication, in India, most of the communication, they are platform centric. Means once the communication is passed for the decided by authorities like in the MA, and then it comes to the central comes to the state is then they directly call to the higher authorities of police and to the hospital and to the air force and to the other. Unlike like in other countries like in USA, Israel, Japan, and some those are facing more disaster than us. They have network centric communication, that is the disaster team directly communicate to all senior authorities, to the state or central authorities or district authorities directly, and to the police, to the air force, or to the senior authorities from the hospital management or medical team. So they are not one by one process, they're directly getting same time information to the different departments. Those are equally responsible for rescuing the victims and the helping them in humanitarian aids like providing food, shelter, home, and medical help in the process. In Japan and Israel, like other countries, these are the they have it's in the left side of the slide. They are showing the first picture is showing that they have Israel app. They have emergency app. The contact number is given. You can directly, if you are not able to communicate, you can directly send a message or get a phone number. They can directly inform to the. So this is app is you get information to the higher authorities, and this app is total civilian app. Anybody can download and take the help. This second number application is emergency call in the USA. They have only one number 911, and this single number is for everything, for fire alarm, victim, whatever problem you are facing in the society, and you are feeling some alert area like feeling disaster or fire somewhere. You can directly call them to the authorities, and the system will be activated. And all systems, they are pre-designed means applications, and they are have communication from either with the ham radio or satellite communication, and they are with the trained personnel, and including army personnel, air force personnel, and those are governmental organization as well as non-governmental organization, including medical health. Like in the right side lowest slide is showing that the medical health personnel, doctors and paramedics, they are communicating to the disaster team or the authority team directly with the satellite phone, and they are not like in India. It's very difficult because most of them they are not trained in ham radio and use satellite communication, and they are not provided us maybe because of we are not trained for the communication in case of disaster. In India, we don't have such number. We have different many numbers to remember. For the ambulance 102, for police 101, fire 101, and railway inquiry 139. So we have a lot of numbers and for everything. So that makes very complicated if you are feeling and all the time remembering all numbers. That's very difficult. So that's why government of India are trying to launch a emergency health app that is consist of numbers. But exactly how to call them, how to communicate to the other people to activate the disaster, if like we are feeling like someone in the hilly areas and feeling that earthquake or some other disaster, it may be a primary sign for natural disaster. It's an alarming sign, but someone is not able to communicate to the high authorities until it becomes magnified to the death toll. So in emergency, such kind of numbers are not available. If they are available, it's very difficult to reach to the authorities and to activate the disaster system. In India, they have bi-directional platform-centric communication, either from the directly passing through the state. If like disaster occurred in the state, so the communication directly passing through state relief commissioner to the disaster management team to the district coordinator committee. And if it's in the large scale, they can directly transfer from the central control room to the state to the district, and vice versa also. So it is always take time to communicate and to implement also. While taking once decision taken from the central committee, and it's now it's passing to the central, to the state and to the district, and now it's passing to the actually manpower is working in the field. It's very difficult, and so this is platform centric communication we are having in the India. Next phase of disaster management, once the response is over, comes to the stage of recovery. Recovery phase was the effect of disaster is over, is complete. Then the phase of recovery, if our planning is very good, then this phase of recovery will be started in few days. The recovery means started from the disaster means first you have to assess the disaster, what is the extent of disaster, and the complete rescue process, and provide them victims to the hospital, and food, shelter, and everything is over. Now while doing assessment, the damage clearance is over. This is the second phase. Total 5 phases are there, and third phase is immediate rehabilitation. Fourth is reconstruction planning, and the last is a reconstruction and implementation. We will cover one by one. First, I will add you, these are the what we have here, disaster staging. They are totally based on the disaster planning, not focused on the area of disaster, type of disaster, how to rescue it, and how to build up with the other things like food, providing shelters and medicines at the particular site, and continuation of again normal life to the victims. But they are not focused on immediate medical response and recovery, as like in other countries. They have disaster, like in Japan they have disaster based hospital. Almost all countries except in India, there may be few, but they are not allocated, like they are not designed as a to call them disaster based hospital. In Japan they have pre-planned victim protocol, how to rescue them. They have medical protocol, how to rescue them, how to reach, and what are the area we can utilize for the victims. They have the common in the developed country like Japan, Israel, but there is no in USA. Defined zonation of the disaster. Everything is defined in the countries, including India also, but the zonation is very late. Means 1935 the zonation was done. Means which area is prone for which particular disaster. As I showed you in the previous slide, that which particular area is prone for earthquake, which area is prone for drought, which area is prone for flood. So zonation is there, but exactly the reassessment of zonation has not been done from long time, from the 1935. Continuous analysis and reporting, that is lacking in India, because after disaster, the analysis of what we can do, what we lacked while managing disaster, means briefing and debriefing is poor, because we are not exactly prepared for the debriefing, and what are the number of victims they are saved, how many the victims they are survived. So exactly data is lacking, because after disaster the follow-up is very poor in India, and the documentation for routinely for with the advanced technology, like with communication, like they are maintaining all data, even for the small amount of disaster like civil war in a small community. They able to notify because of advanced technology in the communication. And in India it's lacking, because we are not aware. We call them mass casualty or multiple casualty, or in the same time 10 to 12 people are coming. We do not identify them, we do not realize them, or we do not notify them to call them as a civil war. But many times converted for the reassessment, what is the pattern of wars in the society. So it's very difficult for us to reassess what is the condition of civil war in India. These are different national international society, especially for India. They are non-governmental society. We have governmental society. We will not tell you here because the non-governmental societies, one is international, that is Red Cross community, international community for Red Cross, and this for all countries, mainly based on humanitarian act. So whenever they get alarm or information from any other country, they have different headquarters in all countries in terms of any humanitarian loss or affecting the human life. They used to reach there, and especially at the headquarter Red Cross Society, Indian Red Cross Society, that is IRCS. This is Indian, is also is governed by the Red Cross, International Red Cross Committee. And second is Disaster Management Initiative and Convenience Society. This society is a non-governmental society, was developed in Andhra Pradesh for disaster management. Now, initially it was focused on the Andhra Pradesh. Now it becomes national from previous. I think from 2008. Now it's covering all national disaster in the India. Now we are talking about the disaster recovery plans. What is mentioned in the manual of disaster management, which was launched in 2005. They are saying that phase one is assessment, damage, disaster assessment. We have to assess what is the damage and what the supply we have for the victim, isolation of victim, rescuing of the victim, and treatment of the victim in the medical camps, PSC, CSCs, and the medical college if they are available. They do not focus on the disaster institute-based hospital or hospital disaster-based hospital. Nothing is mentioned. This is very old. They're following it. And so India, there is no as such medical response team in any institute, and there is no pre-designed disaster hospital. There is the medical team is dependent on the government commands, and there is no aeromedical teams, especially aeromedical teams. We have Indian Air Force. They are trained in evacuation but not in medical treatment, and if medical team is not is trained for medical evacuation. These are the problems in India. And phase 2 is damage clearance. Damage clearance is the phase 2 once the victims rescued from the disaster site. Second phase started the removal of debris after disaster process, and clearance of the affected area. That includes clearance of the buildings and garbage and the dead bodies, and provide them as it mentioned in the NDMA guide manuals. So in the go to the shelters, they have psychosocial counselors and providing them psychological counseling for the loss of lives of their loved ones, and continue life support in the medical camps on the medical hospital. But there is no medical physical rehabilitation center separately for the disaster, and there is no continuous monitoring for these patients. Once they reach to the hospital, there is no continuous monitoring. So hospital, they randomly allotted, nearby hospital they allotted, but there is not at the time of disaster. There is no hard and fast policies. The random policies they make, and they are vanished after disaster is over. Third phase is immediate rehabilitation. Immediate rehabilitation is started, that includes the providing food, shelter, and water supply, and to making them the permanent shelters after disaster over, and providing psychological support for whatever happens to them. But there is no physical or medical rehabilitation separately, and there is no policies prepared in India. And if they are prepared, small policies, they are not implemented to the India. And the fourth and fifth phase is, fourth is planning and fifth is implementation. According to the state or the district and the area, like hilly area or plain area, and type of disaster, the planning is made, and trying to again restart the life cycle, and opening soft farmhouse, and with the continuous psychological supports, providing opening of schools and everything. They are small to just start up. but there is no, in India there is no reassessment plan. And once the critical phase is over, so how to re-establish the home and where to establish home. And this is if previous things are not implemented, means planning is, if planning is poor, then implementation is very difficult. This is mentioned in the NDMA manual, but exactly the implementation I don't know. But there are reconstruction of the most affected area where there is no victims, formation, means again developing buildings and restoration of the schools, hospitals and road. And so the victims, they can continue their own lives. I'm very thankful to all of you for listening me for I think more than 1 hour. So here, if we cannot stop natural disaster, but we can arm ourselves with knowledge, so many lives would not have to be lost if there were enough disaster preparedness. If we are failing to prepare, then we are preparing to fail. Thank you.